Cheers, mate. Thanks. Yeah, very good fun. Thanks. I'll take it slow. Trouble is, this lens isn't really wide enough for this. It's just all so big. Bloody hell.
Pardon? The boiler used to be the boiler, was it? Took out last year. Right. Right. Everybody's in the engine room now. As you can see, there's two engines. The one you came in first, that's not running today, so that's nice and cold. But the one at the front of the train at the moment is the one we're using today, which is hot. These are two-stroke engines. They're not a proper petrol engine, diesel engine, normal four-strokes. These are actually two-stroke engines. They're also opposed pistons, so they've actually got three crankshafts. Where you see the words Napier Deltic alongside of the engine is where there's one crankshaft. The other crankshaft is the opposite side, my side, and then there's another crankshaft at the bottom. So each crankshaft, each journal of the crankshaft has a conrod. So one goes towards the top centre, and the other one goes down towards the bottom. So those are technically know anything about engines. The conrods are knives and forks, and that keeps the pistons in centre line with the bore. But one conrod is like that, it's made of a fork, and then the other knife goes in between, and they rotate around the journal. Because it's got three crankshafts, everything's in threes. You've got three exhausts, three air inlets, three rows of pumps, three rows of cams. Everything's in threes. The big cast iron lump, which is about knee height, that comes out and comes to this grey tank on the end of the engine, is the exhausts. They're water cooled. That's actually an exhaust, but it's in a water jacket, and that joins this thing which is got cloth over it to protect it if we have engine fires, and then joins up to one outlet and goes through above your head here where I'm standing, where the silencers are, and then out through the roof. But the silencers don't really do much. They don't. I was going to see that. It doesn't really quieten them down at all. The other one, the white one, is the air intake, which comes through filters and a grill, which is above the nameplate on the outside of the loco. And that comes in through what they call a scavenger blower. It's like a turbo, but on scavengers they're actually driven by the engine. So that's really different. So all they are is really, in simple terms.
Thanks, Stuart. We're back.
Righto, thank you.
Found everyone.
Righto, thank you. I'll just sort these out, then we'll get the next lot in. It's really just a fan to blow the air into the cylinders, to get rid of the exhaust, to get fresh air in there, to give you more oxygen to burn the next explosion of the diesel. So that's all they are really, turbos and scavenger blowers, simple as that. Below the collector drum, as we call this, because it joins all three exhausts to one, there's a big oil tank. That's for the oil. These are two strokes, but we don't have to mix the oil to the diesel. That's actually done in the cylinder. The cylinder has got little honeycomb indentations in it, so when the pistons go backwards and forwards, it leaves a residue of oil in the cylinder liner. Then that mixes with the diesel, and that's how you get the two-stroke. Pipe works. Orange pipes are electrics, blue is coolant, red is fire extinguishers, black can either be the guttering drain pipes above our heads, or other black pipes are either air, or some of them are also white for the air as well. On the end of this engine there's a tank which is the coolant, which has to be pumped up to two reservoirs of coolant up in the roof, one for each power unit. So you pump that up there. As the water expands, it expands and just drains down into the tank. So the next time you use it, the next day when the engine's cool, you just have to pump the oil back up. The one you were talking about is down on the side of the engine, which is the oil pump, and you have to pump that up 50 times to pump the oil up before you start it. I think that's about it, really. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
What's all this?
Yes. This used to be the boiler. They used to, because Deltics took over from steam engines heated coaches up with steam. But diesels can't, so they're all built with a boiler, and this is where the boiler used to be housed, but we took it out last year. And this is our supply of oil. When we go visiting on different railways, we have to take our own oil supply with us. So we'll get through 1 bottle every 2 days, and that goes in the oil tank, which is under the collector drum. So far you can see I've used four tanks so far, which has got there's a fair bit of oil in them. So so West Somerset Railway, I'll be using a few more of these, so then we'll be going Keighley and Worth after that. So we always have to supply our own, bring our own along with us. Since we've been here, I've actually used a full tank of fuel, which is 823 gallons. So we were saying earlier that's 3,600 litres, weren't we? So, yeah, right. Right, if you guys want to walk up to the other cab and then walk through the cab and come through the doors this side, and then you can walk back out that way. And go out the cab door you came in at, and then we'll get the other guys to come in to have a quick look. Don't you switch it on and start driving.
There's just no use to the boiler now. There's no stop. There's no stop doing a hole that's got the steam in.
Say again.
You don't need a boiler anymore. There's no stop in that hole with steam.
There is quite a bit of stuff around that does use steam, but our electrical engineer doesn't want us to have a usable boiler, because the only time we really want the boiler on is during the damp weather, the winter. So we prefer not to run in the summer.
Right.
Make the way that way, and I'll get these other people.
What's your lens on your camera? You're banging. No, I don't worry about the train. Worry about your lens.
We're going on more now.
English, wipe the oil up. It's still slippy in it. It's slippy as well. These trains are crap.
Yeah. No problem. If there's any more questions you want to ask, just ask. Come on. Are you there? You alright?
Jesus, you feel the heat.
Yeah, fine, thank you. If you want to move along a bit more, and then we'll get everybody in.
No.
You probably have to go as far as the steps. It's a little bit hot.
Are both engines servicing?
Yes. Yeah. But running at 25 mile an hour with a 200 ton tray. And
Do you alternate use of the
We've got to come in before we get it out.
Well, you don't have to go any further, I'll just do a bit of explaining. Beast. If you just want to walk through.
Nice, isn't it? Hey, John.
Let me bag out.
Jesus.
No, because I'm stood in the middle.
These lights, have you seen the lights?